the way a leech creates blood.
Yes!
Or something like that. Or
Yeah.
a tick creates. And the meme was a picture of a blood engorged tick that was backlit, so his body was actually red.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the government creates wealth the way a tick creates blood.
So all this misinformation, if you will, that's getting out there about the media, we'll go back all the way back to Monday when Trump blasted in his speech, literally destroyed for 44 minutes, did an epic and utter destruction of Hillary using facts.
I can't wait until the debate.
Oh, I'm so excited. He's not going to go out like a Mitt Romney. We remember how that went out. So this was another thing that came up on Monday with Trump and all the media heads out there trying to say that he was lying, or he's not he's losing in the polls and all that kind of stuff. But let me get to that in a second. Before I get to that, and do a little sound check. You're listening to Smith Radio. Your host, Brian Smith, Carrie Smith, every Sunday night live, 5 p.m. Eastern to 8. If you want to be a part of the show, you can call in 513-888-1538. You can listen to all our past shows on iHeartRadio. A short little quick link, iHeart.smithradio.com. Or if you just go to Smith Radio, it's SMYTH, smithradio.com, you will arrive at our website. And at that site at the very top, it says click here live to listen. And on the right, it says listen on demand on iHeart. Real big letters. You can click on either one of them, and it'll take you to all our past shows.
Yeah, it's a new website, which I think is kind of nifty. The old one, well, we used to have a direct link to Spreaker.
Correct.
If you went to smithradio.com, it would take you right to our, I guess it would be the homepage of Spreaker.com, of our homepage. And then you could also see some of the news stuff that we follow and post on Sick Bias. Now it's kind of all encompassed, right?
Right.
So awesome. We'd like for you guys to check that out.
Yeah, it's a landing page, if you will. It's got all the Twitter tweets that are scrolling live.
So you get so Brian can finally see. I'm glad you did that because
I'm amazed. I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow. Oh, dude, is this really what's happening?
Yes. Look, I am. I've probably lost a lot of labor time messing around with Twitter because sometimes I would just get on rants and go off and whatnot. But now that you did that, I could be more cognizant that I can't clutter up the Twitter with junk.
Well, but other people's tweets that are on our page or board or whatever, they show up on our website.
Only if I favorite it or retweet it.
Okay.
Which is why our list on the website is awesome now. And I'll stop doing what I used to do, which is get in one-on-one battles with communists. I got in one the other day with a guy from Saudi Arabia, and this guy was totally anti-American. And that's when I realized, oh, this guy is a real terrorist.
Oh, did you call the FBI? Well,
no, I got to call the army.
Well, I'd say call somebody, but they don't really respond to those calls anymore.
Well, not with Obama in charge.
No, definitely not.
No, but he's when I say he's from Saudi Arabia, he currently resides in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually the enemy. Could you imagine back in the 30s or 40s if you could just get on the phone and start talking to some random soldier in Nazi Germany? That's kind of what Twitter has become. Yeah. You can get into a one-on-one debate with the actual enemy. And the reason I say that about Saudi Arabia is because just recently, a couple weeks ago, we found out that a lot of the redacted information that was in the 9/11 Commission report was that the government of Saudi Arabia was behind 9/11.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we were attacked by a country. It wasn't a band of misfits from Afghanistan. Afghanistan is where they were training, but these were Saudi Arabians that were funded and supported by the Saudi Arabian government. So Saudi Arabia attacked us on 9/11. I just want to throw that out there because it had been reported a couple weeks ago when that finally came out, that information finally came out, and then it was just like, oh well, what are you going to do?
And funny thing, I was listening to Glenn Beck back then, and when he threw that out and said the Saudis are behind it,
we thought he was an idiot.
Lord, everybody piled on him like you're a lunatic, man.
He was absolutely right.
And this is the reason why I used to listen to him. But anyway, so back to Trump. Back on Monday, he gave his epic speech blasting Hillary, and then the media started to pile on him because she can't effectively attack him, and started to pile on him about how he's losing in the polls.
Media, much of it, not all of it. But the dishonesty of the media is beyond belief. It's beyond belief. And I think the amazing thing is you see all the polls coming out today, and one of the anchors from one of the networks said, whoa, they couldn't believe that I'm right there.
Right.
And I guess we're tied in Ohio and essentially tied in Pennsylvania and very close nationwide.
How old is that audio clip?
Oh, that's this week, just
because Face the Nation,
Monday, Tuesday.
Deface the Nation. They were all like, "Oh man, he's coming off of his worst week ever." And then we checked the polls, and we were all just beside ourselves. We can't believe that he hasn't really lost much at all. Can you explain this? This is what was happening on Deface the Nation. Yeah, and so the bottom line is this quote-unquote worst week ever was totally manufactured by the media, who is trying to actively – it is the propaganda wing of the Democrat Party. So they are going to try to work to defeat him.
So the news that is truthful, if you go to Breitbart.com, you will find a lot of truthful news. I hardly ever see anything there. And they'll use other news clips and say, look at what they're doing. Kind of like what we do, but they do it in print. So this week, Trump released a press release, and Breitbart posted it. And in that press release, Trump said that he's extinguished his $50 million campaign loan. The campaign says this termination shows Trump honored a pledge he made on May 13, 2016, when he stated, "I have absolutely no intention of paying myself back the nearly $50 million I've loaned the campaign. This money is a contribution made in order to make America great again."
Wow.
So his
$50 million.
The $50 million that he raised, the $50 million that he gave.
That he earned himself for his own personal
with his businesses,
wealth.
And it was his own personal money. He wrote a check to the campaign and said, "Here's the money. Let's make this happen." So after releasing the first fundraising email on Tuesday, which I got it said in the email, this is the first email that I'm releasing saying it's time to start raising money. So now he's going to fundraise nationwide for the general. Well, he did this on Tuesday, and he vowed that I will match dollar for dollar donations up to $2 million. Within 12 hours, he raised $4 million.
And then did you get that he also, maybe a day or two after that, it was up to $11 million?
Yes! And so what did CBS News report? Trump's campaign began June with only $1.3 million cash on hand, a far cry from the over $42 million Clinton has stockpiled. And super PACs supporting Trump and Clinton reflect similar cash gaps. The main pro-Clinton outfit had $52 million on hand at the end of May, while the largest pro-Trump group only had $500,000, just $500,000. Trump's campaign, moreover, pulled in only $3.1 million in private donations in May, while Clinton netted roughly $26 million. Okay, so let's break this down real quick. For one, Trump was not raising individual donations in the month of May.
He wasn't soliciting any money.
He just did just Tuesday.
And then look how much he earned.
Just Tuesday, and he's got $11 million.
Everybody wants Trump. Everybody wants Trump. I've been involved in politics for many, many cycles now, right? Every 4 years.
Right.
Presidential cycles. I have never in my entire lifetime, since before I was born, have I seen so many celebrities that support Trump.
Yes. Yes, there is a huge list of celebrities.
Yeah, it's always been either you're a celebrity and you support the Democrat, or you keep your mouth shut.
Right.
Because you get blackballed.
Oh, boy, do you.
And even the ones where you kind of know, like your James Woods type people, where you know, oh, that's a conservative. You know, he's going to support Romney or McCain or whatever. They're never that enthusiastic about it, so they don't keep their mouths shut out of fear. They keep their mouths shut out of lack of enthusiasm.
Right.
Whereas now they're all like, yeah,
we got to make this
somebody
happen.
put a mic in my face because I got to tell you about Trump.
Right. So, and speaking of that, John Voight this week,
which he's been a conservative forever, yeah.
Right, said that he's going to do everything in his power possible to help Trump get elected.
That's interesting that you bring up John Voight, because today on Yahoo I read an article about 45 celebrities who support Trump. Well, Number 20 will shock you.
CBS says there's only 14 here. So
14 in the whole world?
Yeah.
It's all the celebrities.
Oh, and their first one that they named, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady was on the list of 45, but check this out. Out of all the celebrities that were on there, John Voight was not one of them, and neither was James Woods.
What?
You know those two.
Both of them support Trump, of course.
Well, they've been conservatives forever. So to leave them off the list is kind of silly.
Because maybe they're heavy hitters and they don't want people to know that they're on? I don't know.
Charlie Sheen supports Trump.
Well... yeah.
Mike Tyson.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, right.
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman's a surprise. But he was an apprentice. He was a contestant.
And Gary Busey. So we've just named some really crazy people.
I got a problem that Dennis Rodman is all about North Korea.
See, Dennis Rodman is a crazy.
Is he a communist, or is he like, hey, I'm going to go to North Korea because nobody has the balls to do it. I'm going to do it just to show everybody that I got the balls.
Well, after he burned down that bar that he owned in SoCal down in Newport, after he burned that bar down because he was losing money, hemorrhaging money,
right.
He had to do something to make money. He's going to get back in the limelight.
Okay.
So him and his publicist said, hey, let's pull this stunt and we'll make,
It sounds like a publicity stunt.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of publicity stunts, are we going to talk about the sit-in?
Yeah, I've got something in the bottom of the dump. A stack of stuff.
We got to scrape the bottom of the barrel to get to the sit-in.
Yeah, I think
it's one of those things that, even though it's such a disgrace that it happened, it's still a part of history, and we should probably report on it.
Okay, well, we can do it because it's part of gun control, which Hillary is all about it. And I've got a sound clip on gun control that will make blood shoot out of your eyes.
And wherever.
Yeah, it's as Trump, his verbal, I mean, obviously we know CNN is the Clinton news network.
Yeah.
We all know that. Trump is one of the, I think, the only politician to come out and verbally say it. Like this week he called it Clinton News Network.
They just hired Corey Lewandowski.
I know. What is that?
Is it I don't know, man.
Dude,
is it the foil? Is it because remember they used to have Crossfire, which had Tucker
Carlson. Yeah,
and he had the bow tie. Remember that?
He was supposed to be the conservative.
He's supposed to be the conservative,
right? And
I'm not saying he's not conservative. What I'm saying is he's not all that bright.
Right. Well, when did Lewandowski become a?
He seems like a solid. Like he seems real solid
in front of a camera.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He sounds great. When they were interviewing him, especially right after the Michelle Fields debacle, right. I mean, I was waiting for him to say, "I don't care. I'll pull her arm again." But no, he seemed like a very down to earth, normal person. But before that incident, I didn't know what to think of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he sounded articulate and clean. And
well, articulate and clean is good. It's
right,
very good.
So I figured maybe CNN's onto something. But it's surprising anyway because normally places like CNN and especially MSNBC are going to hire one of two types of conservatives. Either A, they're going to be total rhinos,
Right.
which